Well, hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Battlefront II. In today's episode, we're going to be continuing our look at the Saga of the 607th mod, made by myself, of course. And today we're on Yavin 4. This is another map. I know I mentioned last episode that I didn't really like the Solus map. This is another map I'm not entirely fond of. This is a map that actually went through a couple of iterations. Actually, the Solus map, it actually went through a couple of iterations as well. I don't think I mentioned that. But I suppose I can start by talking about how this mod was originally released. I originally had it planned to come out in sets of 3. You had Map Pack 1, which had Renvar, Solust, and Yavin here. And when I originally released that set of 3 maps, they looked very different. For example, the Solus map was a lot darker and had a lot more like different kinds of tunnels and stuff. And when I remade it, I used the Hoth tunnels actually, and just reskinned them to look like they would be inside like a volcano or something like that. But originally, it actually had like some roots and other stuff, like foliage and all that kind of stuff growing in it. And it looked interesting, but I decided to redo it because it was a little wonky. It's kind of hard to fit together a bunch of different assets from different worlds, especially if you're trying to fit together tunnels, because they don't quite fit together well. By the way, this vehicle is not in the main game, but I think it's in the assets. It's the, I don't even know what this thing is called, but I basically use this as the Republic's equivalent of the tank in this one. It basically functions the same as the Republic's usual tank. Let's see if we can take out Grievous here with a couple of rockets or something. There we go, Grievous is dead. But yeah, it basically functions exactly the same as the regular clone tank. So let's bring this up here, see if we can capture a command post, or help our allies capture this command post. We also need some health. I don't think I mentioned this, but the health droids in this mod are actually replaced by health supply crates and ammo supply crates. And it looks like we might not have any in this map, actually. Okay, so let's try out a different unit we haven't tried yet. Let's play as the 607th Legion Officer. The Officer has a commando pistol, which is kind of the same thing you'd see in the default game. He has grenades, of course, and he also has rally teammates, which I believe boosts our teammates' attack power. Let's go ahead and try it out and see. Yeah, the red buff will boost their attack power, so they'll do more damage. And then he has this ion rifle, which you may remember seeing me get attacked by in the last mission. But anyways, I was talking about how different the maps are, and this map used to be a lot bigger. And this gun does have a rapid fire as well. I was just single-shotting it. But it does do a decent amount of damage to droid enemies. But anyway, so this map used to look a lot different. It used to be a very, very big map. It had tons of vehicles. It had tons of... You could actually fly fighters and stuff. There were Jedi Starfighters and ARC-170s, and the droids had their own fighters and stuff, and it was a really big map. But the problem with making maps really, really big is that they... Let's try the Jet Trooper now. When maps are really big, it makes it harder to get around, it makes it harder to end a match, because once you get down in reinforcement counts, then it gets harder and harder to find your last few opponents. It does feel nice having a big epic battle, but you do have limits in how many units you can have in one battle. You can go up to, I think, like 300 or so before the game starts having issues. Okay, this EMP launcher works a little bit different than it did in the base game, although I think this is basically how it works in Battlefront 1, unless I'm mistaken. But yeah, because in the main game, for some reason, the EMP launcher from the Jet Trooper actually has like a regular explosion effect rather than making a little electrical effect like that. So that's one little thing I kind of tweaked for this mod. But obviously the Jet Trooper does not have much health, and he can't jet very fast, so we're not going to be able to get out of there. So now the last unit I haven't showed off on the 607th side is the Light Commando, who is basically a combination of the Sniper and the Trooper with just more health. Basically, he's just a powered-up version of both. Although the Sniper, I think, has a couple extra things that this guy does not. Now we got Grievous coming at us again. By the way, because of the way the game works, I set it so that there's a limit of one hero per side. You can only have one General Grievous on the field at once. And on our side, we can only have one Commander Vax and one Zacian. But because of the way that works, the AI doesn't want to take away that one unit from the player. So you won't ever see, when I'm playing just a regular Trooper, you won't ever see my Jedi, my Zacian, or Commander Vax on the field, the AI is reserving those for me, so that's kind of a unfortunate byproduct of the way that works. There is a way to actually make the hero units playable as actual heroes by the AI, but that wasn't a thing, I don't think, when this mod came out. Or it might have been, but I didn't want to include it because I actually had multiple hero units. For example, for the 607th, I have Commander Vax and Zacian, and I wanted them both to be available. So this map is coming to a close here. Yeah, not one of my favorite maps. It's kind of just meh. There's nothing real interesting about it. It's not like a really big battle map, and it's not really like a good close quarters map. It's just kind of like a medium-sized land-based map that doesn't have a whole lot of interest. If I redid this map today, I'd probably add more command posts possibly, and more landmarks, most likely. And yeah, that's this map coming to a close. I think I walked around the whole map. Also, I'm wondering why there's not water down there. I might have put the water at a different level in the map, because you can only have water at one height level for the entire map. You can't have water like up top of the mountain and down here, unless you actually do something like use an object that looks like water. It's just the way the game engine works. So we were about to win there, but then the 3 remaining CIS forces managed to capture a command post from our 42 remaining clone troopers. I was going to ask that guy to follow me, but I don't think I want a guy with that low health following me. Let's see if we can figure out where these 3 last droids are here and finish this mission off. This is why big maps don't really work that well in this game, is because you have this big epic battle for a while, and then all of a sudden you're down to 3 units left, and you spend the rest of the time running around the map trying to figure out where those last few units are. So let's snipe these guys real quick. There we go. That's the end of that mission. And how many times did I die this mission? I died 3 times. Yeah, that's not as good as some of the scores in my other matches, the last couple games, but that's because I didn't play as Zacian or Commander Vax. All right, and I don't want to stay on the score team or the score screen for too long, because I've realized that if I stay there too long, the game has a tendency to crash. And I don't know if that's a byproduct of me recording while doing this, or if that's just because the game is unstable. But anyways, here we are in Kashyyyk. We're now playing as a CIS again. I'm probably just going to keep rotating back and forth between the 2 teams. Let's go ahead and jump in this tank if they don't get away from me too fast. I guess they got away from me too fast. Okay. So this is the first map of the second trilogy, which includes the worlds Kashyyyk and Mercana and Zagobah. And in this series of missions, it introduces a new villain to the 607 saga, and his name is Darth Arminus, and he's basically like a wannabe Sith Lord. And he's also got these. You may have seen like a battle droid, like a red battle droid with a lightsaber, and I think those are called Dark Force droids, and those are basically like his own personal bodyguards, kind of like General Grievous has his Magna Guards, the guys with the staffs you may remember from Episode 3. So yeah, basically he has his own like lightsaber droids that he uses, and it's a little silly, but this is a mod. It's not not meant to be like super serious. And I'm dead already. I don't think I killed that many people. I might not even. Yeah, I don't even have the super battle droid unlocked because there's a lot of stuff going on up at that beach. So yeah, this is a map. I like to make my maps a little bit unbalanced from the start, and wow, we're almost going to lose our only command post. I like to make it a little unbalanced so one side has a bit of an uphill battle. As you can see though, to compensate for that, we actually start with more reinforcements. And here's the ammo box I was talking about. That's what the ammo boxes look like. The health boxes are actually white. But yeah, we need to head up and try and capture some more command posts. For some reason, our spider walker over there is turning around the wrong way. Let's try and drop a couple grenades on the that guy. Now, the droid units do not have a secondary grenade type. They just have 4 of the regular thermal detonators. Unlike the clones who have the EMP grenades, and they also have the regular thermal detonators. So we're going to push up here and try and capture some more command posts, because we're rapidly losing reinforcements. So we need to get going up here. And I haven't gotten many kills yet, so I'm not going to be able to play as a hero unit. I really want to play as Darth Arminus, because he's really fun to play as, and has some interesting force powers, or one interesting force power, I suppose. One other little minor thing that you may not notice that I changed about this mod, as I made it so that health and ammo drop a whole lot more often from dead units, and I basically did that to compensate for the fact that you're playing like a really large map and you're likely to get killed a lot. It's basically to kind of counteract the AI constantly targeting you effect. It makes it just a little bit easier to survive. And a regular old battle droid just killed Zacian. That's kind of sad. Let's see if we have enough points to play as something else now. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and try Darth Arminus, because he's a lot of fun to play as. So Darth Arminus, of course, has a lightsaber like every other Jedi, and I don't remember which... Yeah, he has this attack combo. There's only a limited number of attack combos you have in the game, and this one I think is the same one that Luke Skywalker would use, but obviously we haven't played as Luke Skywalker yet, so you guys wouldn't know that. I think Zacian actually has the same attack combo. But yeah, so let's go ahead and use the Force Lightning, which is the most fun thing about this, because it sends enemy units flying, and it's just a lot of fun to use. So honestly, I think Darth Arminus is actually a better hero than Zacian, just because he has this Force Lightning attack, which you can use to knock opponents back and keep them off himself. Although, yeah, I mean, honestly, any Jedi unit in the right hands playing as AI opponents is going to be deadly. Unless you get completely surrounded and you let yourself get killed, but yeah, I do really like playing as Darth Arminus. We're trying to capture another command post here. Right now the game is really close. We're really close to reinforcements, although I feel like most times when I play this game, the CIS usually does get an advantage close to the end as they start capturing more command posts. So what you can do is you can actually also Force Lightning them back and then Saber throw them from a distance. Oh, he also has a Force Pull ability, which we can use to pull enemies towards us and use our lightsaber on them. But honestly, I mean, there's no cooldown on powers themselves. There's just cooldown on your amount of energy. So you could just keep using the same power over and over again. There's not really a good reason to keep switching back and forth, except for variety's sake. But yeah, we'll hopefully get a chance to play as the Dark Force droid in another mission. But for right now, I definitely want to showcase Darth Arminus to his fullest extent. So we can go to capture this command post, but we're running out of units on both sides. So this could be an interesting match. If I do lose a game, I'm still going to upload it. Just because I'm still showing off the map, you know. Like, me losing doesn't mean I can't show it. And also, this command post has a fairly small radius I got to stay in. I thought I just had to stay inside the hut there, but I guess I had to stay inside the actual range of it right there. So let's go ahead and see if we can take out this... No, that tank's at full health. Let's not bother with it. But there is a guy over there who I want to get to. If I can. Oh, he's already dead. Okay. So let's go ahead and stop these guys from getting too far. Nope, that was a miss. But yeah, this map also looked different. But this one still retains like most of its primary features. Originally, this map, like the entire back area of this map that we're in right now, stayed the same. But originally, the beach, it was actually like a long canyon that you went through. Until you got up to the actual beach here. So the CIS started back where they are right now, but then they actually advanced up a long, like winding river through a canyon, and then they got up here. But I decided to open it up because I liked the way it looked when it was, you know, all open like this instead. And that was a miss. Okay, so I don't... Yeah, there actually are some clones over there, but we can go in and kill these guys. So yeah, this is the part where it gets a little bit boring because we're just hunting down the last units, and I suppose we have to take out the tank at some point. So might as well do that right now. There we go. And they're trying to capture the one back there. I don't want to waste all my time just capturing command posts. Let's go and see if we can take out that tank back there. And there should be a couple other clone troopers somewhere, like right there. Come here, buddy. There we go. He's not dead? Seriously? Ugh. I thought for sure that'd be enough to kill him. And I guess we won. I guess that tank didn't count as one of the last few units. Alright, so that's the end of this episode of Star Wars Battlefront II mods. In the next one, we'll take a look at Mercana and Zagobah. See you guys then.